Oh, are we recording? Oh, thank God. Well, it's about that time, and I promise it happened. I'm going to be going over the worst types of ships that exist on the internet. Yeah, so I have 6 types of ships I'm going to go over, with 2 of them being in the average tier, and the other ones, the other 4, they're just going to be all the way really down, if you really ask me. Because they deserve these kind of positions, because these ships are pointless. And just overall pretty stupid, if you ask me. So, let's go over the first one. Alright, looking at some of the ships I did write down, I had to, surface a lot of ships. So, the first one I'm going to mention of the 2 that's in the C tier category is the frenemy ships. These ships are probably more tame than the other ones I'm going to mention. If you don't know what frenemy ships are, they're basically ships. Oh, this is actually basically when 2 people actually ship 2 characters that are frenemies with each other. That means they would argue a lot but get along on another half, like half the time. Yeah, it has to be like 50-50 with the arguments and friendship moments, but give me a minute. Okay, much better. I had to use my inhaler. But I've written down some examples of ships that count as frenemy ships. Clance, which is a ship between Keith and Lance, they actually argue quite a lot in Voltron Legendary Defender. Yes, this counts because, like I said, they argue a lot. Yes, and probably out of all the ships in the Voltron fandom, many people call this one probably the worst and the most toxic. And people really get mad at DreamWorks just for not making it canon. Bro, it's DreamWorks. They don't always have to listen, bro. Even though I find that really annoying. There's also Deku and Bakugo. Deku Baku, I think it's what it's called. I don't even know what to call this ship, but it's a ship between Deku and Bakugo. Yes, in the same case with Keith and Lance, people got mad at the creators of MHA just for not making these 2 gay. Even Tommy NFG pointed this out in his shows that fell off video. Yeah, this is arguably probably the most overrated ship of the 3 that I just mentioned. Yes, I say 3 because I got one more. Fire Oini. Yeah, a ship between Coiny and Fiery. Yes, this is kind of as a frenemy ship, as Coiny and Fiery don't really argue that much anymore in recent BFDI episodes. Also, this probably appears to be the most tame, despite how this counts as a ship for later. Yeah, this is going to be the 4th types of ships I'm going to talk about. But the frenemy ships are the first one, and I'm glad to get this one out of the way. And let's move on to the second one. Alright, so for this next ship I have is crossover ships. Well, the reason I'm saying this one is second on the list, it's because, while these are pointless, some of the crossover ships are pretty decent. And some can actually work due to, the characters being in, the same type of topic. Or at least the characters from this respective universes have, the same, genre. Like, for example, spy genre or something. I've had a few examples of crossover ships, like Hit Jack. It's a ship between Jack and Hiccup, 2 characters from DreamWorks Media. Hiccup from Train Your Dragon and Jack from Rise of the Guardians. Yeah, people part of the Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons community would ship something like this. Some people say this community is diabolical. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. I've been there, haven't really been seeing that much people that are like that. maybe that's just me. Another example is Willette, a ship between Wilbur and Violet. Yes, I'm pretty sure some of y'all were expecting for me to mention this, but yeah, some people actually do ship Wilbur and Violet. I mean, I guess my biggest problem with this ship is the fact that they're not really in the same school. Plus, we don't even know how they would, like, interact with each other. They actually exist in the same universe. I think Tommy NFG also explained this type of ships in his Most Annoying People on the Internet video, where he's explaining why shippers are terrible. Two more examples are coming up are Jelsa, a ship between Jack Frost and Elsa, and Deku-Net, a ship between Deku and Marinette. I mean, I guess Deku-Net could somewhat work since like the genre for their shows are pretty similar. I assume that Willette also has some type of... Also, that's my other problem with Willette is the fact that Wilbur and Violet, the films that they both exist in, don't really have the same topic, technically. The film Wilbur exists in is time travel based, while Violet is more superhero based. That technically doesn't really count. But that's the second and final one of the ones that are in the C tier section. Because, I mean, technically Wilbur and Violet can work if it's done in the right way. So let's move on to our first bad one. Probably the least terrible, but still pretty bad. Well, we're entering our third type of terrible ships, and these are the enemy ships. Like I said, these are the least terrible, but are still pretty bad. Just nowhere near as bad as the next three ships on the list, or at least types. These are the enemy ships. Ships where two people are enemies with each other. They don't like each other. They don't get along that well, for the most part. And they're probably sworn enemies at worst. They're probably minor enemies at best. And boy, are there a lot of them. And I say they're the least terrible because the idea of having two people at least be a couple and hate each other for the most part, or the idea of that being the case, I mean, that sounds somewhat unique, but a lot of fan fictions don't really execute it that well. I don't know. But I have a lot of examples. But I'm going to limit it down to just 4, like the crossover ships. I'm mainly going to have at least 3 examples and 5 examples at most. With the average mostly being 4 for some ships. Or at least some types. Like, for example, I got Lollipop and Barf Bag. Or Lollibag. Yeah, this is a ship between Lollipop and Barf Bag. They're sworn enemies, for those who don't remember. And I have 2 more Marinette-based ships again. Chloe-Net and Lila-Net. 2 ships between Chloe and Marinette and Lila and Marinette, respectively. Like, I don't even get how y'all even ship this. Like, bro, Chloe hates Marinette. She bullies her every chance she gets. Well, that's no longer the case because she got shipped away. I wouldn't say shipped away, but like banished to New York from what I heard from season 5. And Lila-Net, like, bro, Marinette hates Lila. She's nothing but a dishonest and irredeemable individual. She's nothing but a complete monster. That's what she is. Marinette is almost a complete angel. Yes, because she's on the near peer good wiki. I don't even know where Lila would go on the moral rankings wiki, but I guess either close to pure evil or just pure evil. Because that's where she belongs, because she's more heinous than Lila. Well, she's more heinous than Chloe. I'm an idiot. And then Evelyn and Helen. What kind of ship is this? It's a ship between the Screenslaver and Elastigirl. No joke. People actually ship this. Bro, don't they hate each other? Yeah, and apparently I do that people ship this. It's because I was reading some archived articles about toxic fan bases. Yes, there was actually an article about Elastigirl's fan base being toxic. Yeah, and one of the reasons they say has a toxic fan base is because many people just only watch The Incredibles duology because of her. Like, one character alone shouldn't be a reason you watch the film. Like, yeah, sure, she looks attractive, but like, Thank God there are actually some people that realize that she's married, bro. Even I know that. That's why I don't have as much of a crush on her as others. But this ain't about some fan bases. Well, technically, yes, it is. But it ain't about some fictional character fan bases. These ships where two characters are entirely different species. Like I said, I did just mark off one example in the frenemy ships, which is Fire Oiny, a ship between Coiny and Fiery, which the former is literally a coin and the latter is literally just a flame. Like, bro. And plus, these two would frequently slap each other and are sworn enemies in the first season. How do y'all ship that? But it's a frenemy ship currently due to the fact that they don't really argue as much. They don't really slap each other as much. And just like with the other example, I have 4 examples of this. And probably the most toxic example on this of the different species ship is the Flippy and Flaky shippers. Oh my God. Like, bro, these are probably the worst people in the HTF community, bro. Like, by far the worst. Probably the lumpy haters are a close second. Yes, these two parts of the community are by far like the worst. And I say Flippy and Flaky shippers are probably some of the worst. It's because, like, bro, y'all do realize they're entirely different species and different age too, if you really think about it. Well, I have 2 more examples. These 2 are Stella ships. Red and Stella and Chuck and Stella. I'll get more onto Flippy and Flaky later, but I'll get these 2 out of the way. If y'all don't know, Red is a cardinal, Chuck is a canary, and Stella is a gala. They're different types of birds, morons. Come on. And then a similar example with Flippy and Flaky is Shifty and Petunia. I would have put Handy and Petunia, but since that's canon, I marked it off and it's scrapped from the video. Since if you really think about it, Shifty and Petunia don't even like each other. They're enemies for crying out loud. If anything, I'd rather ship Disco Bear, even if it's the same thing. But, like, I still hate that. Not to mention, Disco Bear is like a grown adult, while Giggles and Petunia are probably, like, mid-teens at most. Like, at least, they're probably close to adults at most. Like, they're probably 16 or 17, in human years at least. Same thing with Flaky, bro. Not to mention, Flippy's like in his 40s at most, bro. Not even joking. Well, that's not really confirmed per se. Like, I know people are going to pull out that excuse, but that's just a prediction for crying out loud. Like, it's not that hard to just accept people's opinions. Not everyone has to ship the same thing as y'all. And oh boy, the next 2 ships are probably worse than this one. And it's really close between these types of ships and the next 2. Well, we're our second to last ship. And as you read this part, these type of ships are the huge age gap ships. Ships where 2 people's ages aren't even that close to each other. Like, at all. Yes, there are some examples, but I only marked off 2 that I can get. And one of these ships is a foster home ship. Yeah, just cut the crap. It's Mac and Frankie. Yes, this counts. Like you want to know the worst part? Somehow, like, I get it's just a show and whatnot, but, like, bro, Mac is 8, Frankie is 22. That's 14 years apart, and somehow I'm supposed to be considering that shit normal. Bro, it's 14 years apart. What about that is normal? Like, no. Tell me, what about that is normal? To ship one girl that's 22 and an 8-year-old boy. He's a 2nd grader. She probably graduated college at that point. Like, oh my God. Like, I just hate the idea of that ship right off the bat, bro. Like, it's just stupid. And the other ship, like the other example I have is Lori and Clyde. But like this example should have been pretty predictable. But why am I marking this one off as an example? Because, dude, Clyde is like, I think 12 currently, and then Lori is like 18. She's in college right now. Bro. Bro, the fact, and what makes these even worse is the fact that these are literal kid shows. Keyword, kids shows. Shows targeted for people 12 or under. It gets somehow supposed to be either considering this normal or just let it slide. No. 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 I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. That's not sliding at all, but oh, there's a ship worse than this. I don't know between like number 4 and 5 which to talk about first. So I'm talking about this one next. All right. Beginning, pause. But like these ships are the worst, and it's close between number 4, 5, and 6. Well, it's technically pretty close, but those ships are like a 2 or even a 1.5 out of 10. This one's a complete 1 out of 10 with no redeeming qualities about it. Like the redeeming qualities of these type of ships are hard to spot. The ships where 2 characters are related are by far the worst ships to ever grace the internet. I know a lot of like examples of all of this. There's Gabriel and Adrian. Like, bro, Gabriel is Adrian's dad, for fuck's sake. Like, there's no way y'all don't have the brain to know that. Or maybe they do. They just think it's fine to ship it anyway. Yeah, they're probably the same people that use that whole age is just a number excuse. No. Okay, if that's the case, then prison is just a building thing. And let's get Pop and Cub out of the way. Yeah, people ship Pop and Cub somehow. Dude, they're father and son too. Heck, remember how I mentioned Elastigirl a bit earlier? Some people ship her with Dash and Violet. For what? They're literally her children, and it still counts as a huge age gap ship, even if they weren't related. Not even joking. Like even if they weren't related, that's still pedophilia. Like, and I hate having to say that word because that literally bumps up the chances of this video like getting hurt. Like it's gonna get beaten by the belt by YouTube, which is the website this is uploaded on. Hey, get age restricted for a lot of reasons. This is probably in my opinion the worst example on this whole list. Well, probably not as bad technically, but it's still as bad. Some people dead ass literally ship Wilbur and Lewis, bro. Dude, Wilbur and Lewis are related. That's the plot twist of the movie. Bro, I swear, bro. Like, ain't that the twist of the film? Like, I know y'all watched the film and whatnot, but like, bro, that's still diabolical. Like, bro. Bro, these ships are the worst. Like, bro. Yes, and I say that's probably like the most like that's actually just the more notable twist in comparison to all the other twists. Yeah, there were probably more twists in the film, but like, bro, for those who ship Wilbur and Lewis, you really need to get some therapy. Like I know I sounded really raged when I had to mention this ship, or at least these type of ships and whatnot. These type of ships anger me the most. But I think that's going to be everything for this video. Let me know in the comments what ships y'all would consider the worst. Like, at least what's the worst ship that exists on the internet. The incest ships literally beat all the other ones. And it's almost not even that close. Yes, it's close between like 3, 4, 5, and 6, but number 3 was easily like the least terrible out of the ones with the red background in it. Especially another thing that brings some of these ships higher and whatnot is, well, it's how frequent these type of shippers are. Well, that's all. You know, also, let me know some examples that I missed for each type of ship that I just mentioned throughout the video. I'm just ending the video off here. I do know some examples I did miss, which are, like, for, like, huge age gap ships, or at least pedophilic ships in a way. Some people actually ship Gabriel and Marinette, bro. Bro, Hawkmoth and Ladybug are sworn enemies, for crying out loud. How do y'all ship Gabriel with Marinette, bro? Like, I'm not even joking. People actually ship this, bro. It's stupid.